Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of Terry Smith. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And this video right here is about money is not the root of all evil. Your needs are. Now ponder on that for a second, and I'm going to repeat it. Money is not the root of all evil. Your needs are. Now, once we start to talk about your needs, your wants, and your needs, this is like a form of being lost into the world, because these are forms of energy, and energy make up the world. So for the most part, you could kind of look at your wants like the masculine version of light, and you could kind of look at your needs like the feminine version of light. So a need is something you want to receive. A want is something you want to have. So it's something you want to attract. So it's something you perceive. But for the most part, here's the thing. Both of these are versions of light, aka energy. And when you are lost into the world, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a person that got a lot of wants and have a lot of needs. So for the most part, you need to know how to separate these things. So when we talk about, because you only going to get what the fuck you deserve. At the end of the day, I don't care what realm of reality that you're in. You only going to get what you deserve. Now, based upon what spiritual space that you are in, you might be vibrating at a certain frequency that the shit that you manifest, the shit that you deserve, kind of looks like the shapes and forms of the shit that you want. The shapes and forms of the shit that you need. But you need to know the wants and needs is lost into the world. And money is not the root of all evil. It's actually your goddamn needs. Now, once we start to talk about what's more powerful out of your wants and your needs is going to be a little bit more powerful, because when we start to put things in a box of our wants, the things that's in the box of our wants, a lot of times we know how to leave it there. A lot of times these things look far out of reach. So a want is like a masculine version of a light, an external light, a light outside of you. So if there's a light that's too far away and out of reach, a lot of times you could just look at it and watch it, but you know it's just a want. You know it ain't something that you probably capable of doing, so you don't add any more waters and heavy emotional turmoil or stressed out vibrations to your life, because you can't get that want. A lot of times you know the distance. But when we start to talk about a need, this is an internal light. So this is a light that's close to you. And if that light isn't there, if that form of information isn't there, if that form of comfortability or relaxation based upon a person, place, or thing isn't there, then you're going to feel a loss. You're going to feel empty. And for the most part, that light is a lot closer to you than the want. So that one is going to be more important, and it's going to affect and influence you a lot more. So you'll do whatever it takes or whatever you think you need to do in order to get these needs met. And there's some crazy things that we do to motherfucking get our needs met. And unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of people, a lot of spirits that's in bodies in this world that make y'all think that money is one of the things that y'all need. But here's the thing, there's a lot of, these are like boxes, right? And it's up to you. It's your responsibility what you fill these boxes up with, because you're filling these boxes up with fluid, aka something outside of you. Energy, feminine version of energy needs, masculine version of energy, which is wants. So energy is light, information. And a lot of times you don't take responsibility for your own wants and needs, because you only gonna get what you deserve. So when you don't take responsibility for your own wants and needs, then you gonna get what you deserve. And if you experiencing some fucked up shit right now to have other people looking at you like you ain't deserve that shit, no, yes the fuck you did deserve that shit, because you didn't got lost into your wants and needs. And then for the most part, you didn't understand what you deserved at the moment. So you got everything that was coming to you based upon these influences that you got lost in. Now here's the thing. We so often let the Galactic Federation of Light create circumstances and situations to make us feel like what we need. We let the people that we are around, our location, the people that's close to us, family, friends, and associates, and things that we think we're supposed to do based upon the location that we are in, we let these things create the shape and form and fill up that cup of our wants. So for the most part, when it comes to your things of the wants and that in which you need, when you try to participate in getting these things and they don't manifest in your life fast enough, you start to not understand what's going on, because you're not deserving it at the moment. You see what I'm saying? So when we start to talk about money is not the root of all evil, your motherfucking needs are, because for the most part, it's more like a percentage level. So your needs, people go to extravagant measures to get their motherfucking needs met in some way, shape, or form. And when a motherfucker start to think that they in need, they'll do anything to get that met. Now, when you got groups of spirits that's in bodies out here creating y'all needs, now y'all think y'all need certain things. And when they create the system and the routine and the pattern on how to get these needs met, if you're not spiritually capable of getting these things, then you're going to start to feel frustrated, and now you're lost into the world. You're lost into your needs. So for the most part, needs blind you. Needs turn into water. You see what I'm saying? So in heavy water, if you ain't got no goggles or no chlorine in that pool, for the most part, you're not going to be able to see. And you're going to get washed up under the current and be easily over-influenced by the things that you need. And the things that you need can cloud your judgment. It'll make you feel certain ways about certain people. It'll make you do certain things that's out of character. It'll make you do things and have cloudy judgments. You see what I'm saying? It'll make you can't see things clearly. You can't see where people are truly coming from because you can only see where you're coming from because you're in your own chaotic swimming pool as a spirit swimming around. So when you get lost into your needs, so for the most part, you have to look at the things that you think you need. And you have to sit back and analyze, why do you need these things? And then for the most part, if these things, the only reason you don't have it in the first place is because you don't deserve it. You see what I'm saying? And that's the reason that you need it or want it. Because if you was to have it in the first place, you wouldn't know what to do with it. And you'll put yourself back into a situation that you want or need it because you're casting a spell on yourself in the first place. Whether it's a prayer kind of spell or something like that where you're praying for something. Whatever you're praying for, you're creating more distance from it. The only thing that you're creating is the energy behind it, the feeling and emotion and the thought that you're putting behind it. And if you're putting a feeling and when you're praying, if you're putting a feeling and a thought behind it of needing, then you always gonna get what you deserve. You always gonna get what you ask for. You gonna get more situations of needing, and whatever shape and form that's on your mind that's making you feel like this is the thing that you need to be looking at who created that. You need to be looking at why you gravitating towards that so much. You need to be looking at why is that a big circumstance, because for the most part, that is just like a illusion. And for the most part, this thing could be obtained, but you need your own energy to obtain that. But you're trying to get that from the backings of whoever created that, whatever group of spirits created that. You're trying to get it from their routines and patterns. And a lot of times they make their routines and patterns of how to get certain things that they make you think you need and want. They create a mountain sometimes that's too far to climb. So a lot of times this is why spirits and bodies like to take shortcuts to get their goals. And if their goals is back to supported by what the Galactic Federation of Light and their surroundings and the family friends have created, then for the most part, they're creating more distance with these goals. And the further something look away, the more you're going to want to take shortcuts. And shortcuts go into many different realms of realities, not just the physical realm. You could try to think your way around something. You know what I'm saying? You could try to feel your way around something, throw your emotions around to blind other people, and all kind of shit. But that's another video. But when we start to talk about money is not the root of all evil, your needs are. Your needs is what make you evil. Your needs is how all the evil became in the world. This form of needing. You see what I'm saying? To the point that you're not supposed to want or need. You're supposed to sit back and be satisfied, and then you'll get what you deserve. You can sit back and be satisfied when someone's trying to give you something, right? And if you didn't technically need it, turn it down and be like, I'm satisfied. You will get more of that coming to you. You see what I'm saying? That's what you need to understand. Now, you need to understand percentage levels also, because people will watch my last video about how to create internal esoteric lotion or spiritual oils and things of that nature, how to shine from in, and they think it's just about non-indulgent. And no, it's not just about non-indulgent. Like I said, it's always back to supported by things you could have done. There's a lot of things that y'all want to do that if you was to try to do it, you still can't do it. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, you have to understand it's something that you can do, but you didn't do. You didn't take it because at the moment you didn't need it at the moment. You know what I'm saying? It goes to little things. Say you already bought a box of soap, right? And somebody at the door, some Jehovah's Witness or whoever, it doesn't matter. Somebody coming at your door and want to give you some free bars of soap, right? Now, you're not thinking about it in your mind like, okay, I already bought some soap or already got some soap and things of that nature, so I don't necessarily need it. You're just looking, you're not even in that mind frame. You see what I'm saying? You're just taking it because you don't see nothing wrong with it. Now, here's the thing. You won't glow. Because that could have been a time you glue. Because you could have turned it down. then you would have all those feelings and emotions and thought forms and waves catching from this person like, dang, it's just soap. Why this person turn it down? Or you would have had all these feelings and emotions like, dang, I could have took it. I could have had some more soap for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even have to use the soap that I paid for yet. And like you would, all those feelings and emotions, those are the energies, the urges that I was talking about that built up into motherfucking internal oils. So you will glow when you have all those. And you didn't go out and stop her up the street or stop the person that was knocking on your door up the street. Like, all right, take that soap. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, when the time come back around, before you know it, you won't even be worried about soap. Not even about the soap that you actually bought. You see what I'm saying? Because something down the line next week or something like that will put you into will put you into a situation where motherfucker, you will have soap and you wouldn't even have to worry about buying it. So keep that in mind also. But getting into like I said, your needs is what actually make things evil. Now, your needs is attached to the yin, the jinn, the feminine realm, your internal realm, the lights that's internal. The things that if it was to go away, you wouldn't even know how you would survive. Those things that develops your soft spot, like that cloth there, before it reach your true space. These are all the essential subconscious energies that you have developed as forms of safety to surround yourself as a spirit in the esoteric realm, as a shield. And you did these things subconsciously. So these play out as forms of needs. Now, as you get older, these forms of needs is going to start to take different shapes and forms and look like the ways of the world. And the ways of the world is things that you do, things that you want to participate in, things you want to manifest. You know what I'm saying? Now, the large percentage right now is money, but for the most part, keep this in mind. This is something that's part of the world. And if you don't have no spiritual energy of yourself, or putting yourself in a circumstance of what they call that, of service in any way, shape, or form, to the point that you're spiritually emitting your own energy, then for the most part, you're not gonna have your own energy to make that take a shape or form into this realm of reality where it could gravitate and manifest to you as form of material or money or possessions and things of that nature. So for the most part, when you lack the ability of having spiritual force, soul force in some way, shape, or form, then you're looking for guidance. And then you're looking for the Galactic Federation of Light routines and schedules and pattern systems in order. This is basically what a job is, but I'm speaking about it on a spiritual level. You're basically looking at the Galactic Federation of Light versions of routines and patterns of what they need you to do. And a lot of times, a lot of your needs has been filled up from them. Shit that they think you need. And a lot of times, that don't be the shit you need. The shit that they make you think you want. And a lot of times, that ain't the shit you want. You see what I'm saying? But you just think you want it. But if you sit back and get your spirit and understand what you deserve, then for the most part, all your wants and needs will fall on your motherfucking lap. But you just have to put your spirit in that space. You see what I'm saying? And stop looking external and start to look internal. You know what I'm saying? And go through all those energies. You need to know when you're going through circumstances and situations of unsurety, doubt, you're building internal substance. You're building internal things. You know what I'm saying? These are internal materials that's going to slowly but surely become physical. This is why it's important to understand the state of being that you are in. Because the state of being that you are in slowly but surely start to manifest into the circumstances and situations that you experience externally. Based upon the people, places, and things that you start to see in your life. So your state of being is just your space. Then you start to create a state of awareness. So the state of awareness is the lights, the ideas, and the feelings. The ideas is the masculine, the feelings is the feminine. Versions of the state of being that you are in as a spirit. Now the state of being is just your space. So once you start to vibrate in that frequency, right, it develops into what we call your state of being. Your state of awarenesses, your halo. And this is the thought, the feeling of what you're pushing off based upon your spirit being in that space. You being in that space that day, right? Now, once you start to feel and have certain thoughts, you start to express these things. They start to become physical, aka you start to see physical representations that match that frequency. So if you're in a fucked up spiritual state of being, you're going to start to create fucked up states of awarenesses. And these fucked up thoughts and feelings, aka states of awarenesses that you create, is the material in the internal realm, in your yin. in your bottle. This is your bottle. You are the genie in the bottle. You the spirit in it. Now, once you start to create all the fluids, you're filling up this bottle. Now the cup is no longer halfway full, right? Now all the material, all the fluid in that bottle, now it's about to start to materialize, crystallize, come into the cold, come into the air and earth, the heavens, right? AKA, now you start to physically express yourself in those manners and physically start to see these things in your life as far as people, places, and things and situations and scenarios. And if you are in a fucked up state of being, thinking that you need to think what's going to actually materialize as a physical representation in your life, other people who need, other people who got conversations and talking about stupid shit about they need, other commercials, shit that pop up on your phone, shit that pop up on your computer, more feelings and thoughts about how you can need even more, almost to the point that you can get something that got a small form of satisfaction percentage energy in it, and you can get that, and you'll be so lost into your needs. Once you get that, you'll still look at that like you need more in some way, shape, or form. Once you get deep into need, to the point that you'll never be satisfied, and you can have all that you actually ever needed, but to the point that needing cloud your judgment. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, it'll put you into realms of realities of acting in ways to the point that act like the needy. You know what I'm saying? And then for the most part, you're on the opposite side of energy in some way, shape, or form based upon God and the universe. And once you keep manifesting and experiencing those circumstances and situations, you may even put yourself so far out there to the point that you need the world. Like, as a spirit, you separated yourself so much from everything based upon being lost into the light. When you get lost into a spaceship, as a spirit, you fly off and wander and get lost in the universe. And if you get lost into the feminine version of it, that becomes darkness way faster than the light aspect of it. Light as in weight. Now, once that fire light turn into water, and then as a spaceship, you wandering down because the water getting heavy. So you're going down, and you get so far away from the world, you end up needing the world. Because you don't see nothing else but needing. And once you need the world, you need everything in it. AKA, you need people, places, and things. And when these things are not meeting, or your needs is not getting met, then that's when you start to act as a catastrophic spirit. And you start to act out. And you start to act very negative and nasty towards these people, places, and things that's looked at as the world. Because you need them. And when you're not able to get them, when you need them, you're looking at these circumstances and situations as even more Dalmatian. And to the point that here's where it becomes evil. You become an evil spirit in general. You see what I'm saying? You can even go into people who are lost in religious aspects. When they need the spirit, need that spirit, that demon spirit, that Holy Ghost spirit. That's another version of light, but that spirit lost into the light and darkness and things of that nature. When they need it so much, they become very nasty individuals. Think about preachers. Think about the people who go to church every Sunday that you be around that talk negative and nasty about every fucking thing, right? And then you'll be sitting here thinking like, nah, I'm religious. I don't sit here and talk nasty and things of that nature. No, that's just because that demon that you worship, that you call God, it's just because you call it God. Just because they called it God 2,000 years ago, that don't mean it wasn't a demon. That's why they called it a God, because deep spirit. But for the most part, you're looking at it like, no, I'm not talking bad and stuff like that and shit, but it's just because that demon taught you whatever you're doing is for the right thing. But you need to sit back and think about what you're actually doing. It doesn't matter whatever you're doing. That's you just being lost into the world, doing shit in the world. But you need to understand what state of being that you in. So just because you think you're doing something because it's a good cause, think about what you're doing. 9 times out of 10, if you're a religious person, you casting stones. You're judging, you know what I'm saying? But you're casting stones and you're judging is backed and supported by you thinking you're doing the right thing. And that's what demons do. So if they told you that something is going to come to you and have the most beautiful lie in the world, you think the animal brain that you got, because your heart, all your organs are different animals and shit like that. You think your brain is smart enough to realize how you're getting lied to esoterically when you don't even got a sufficient enough spirit to develop a strong enough mentality utilizing your brain for you to even be lost in that indoctrination in the first place. So that's rule number 1. But for the most part, that's what you need to understand. it come to you in all kind of different ways and get you lost into the light and make you think whatever you're doing is for the right thing. But think about what you're actually doing. You're casting stones. You're judging. You're casting your demon onto someone else. So when you're looking at something that's more powerful than you as a deity or a god, whatever it is, and when you see that power and then you tell somebody else that that demon or that whatever you call it god is going to use that power to cast stones to down someone else. Like, I know this sounds harsh what I'm saying right now, but how come you don't realize this is what you're doing when you tell somebody they're going to hell for your religion? You're basically saying that your almighty powerful God is going to use its power to damage somebody else's spirit, which is no thing in the first place. So for a spirit, a demon, to get another spirit to even believe that, it has to make the spirit get lost into the light in some way, shape, or form, into wants and needs and fear, and get fire. And then once a spirit is convinced that it's light, once the spirit is convinced it's light, now the spirit think it's a form of material or dark matter or the Holy Ghost or the spirit of something other than the spirit being itself. It's saying the spirit of God. Your God is your spirit. But once it convinced you that your spirit is something separate, now it convinced you your spirit is the light. And once you think the spirit is the light and whatever you're following, that's the light, now you are a spirit that's lost into the light. Now you are convinced your spirit is material. Now that this demon got you convinced that your spirit is material, now we know material is light, information. Now it could tell you your spirit is all kind of shit. So now it could tell you your spirit is an imagination. So this imagination is what fire is. So now you can go to a hell because now you can believe it. Now you can take your spirit and use your three strengths, your faith, belief, and imagination, but use it for another spirit. You don't use it for yourself. So now you use your belief to believe that your spirit is a material, to believe that your spirit is the light. Now the light is information. Now you can believe your spirit can burn. Now you can believe your spirit can go to hell. Now you can believe your spirit could be in a routine and pattern. Now as your own spirit, which we all got individual spiritual strength, faith, belief, and imagination. Now you let this demon make your spirit believe that. And now you take your own spiritual, you take your own spiritual responsibility. It ain't your fault that you indoctrinated. It ain't nobody else's fault you indoctrinated but yourself. But now you just use your faith, belief, and imagination to create that hell, to believe that your spirit is light. And now you could believe whatever type of information that we create what light is. And since you think the spirit is the light and your spirit of the light and your spirit is going to some light for forever light, then guess what? This demon psyched you up real good. Real good. Real good. Real good. Flight boss, bitch. So when I say money ain't the root of all evil, your needs are. Now you can take back and look at yourself in the mirror. See, that's what this channel is about. I don't care what religion you in, what spiritual system you in, what lost soul you are, what all your wants and needs. You might want somebody to fail. You might want somebody to succeed. You might need this. You might need that. You might be failing. You might not know why. You're looking for external purposes. This is the subconscious channel. Subconscious channel. Subconscious community. All these videos is going to be about how you look in the mirror and look at yourself. Period. You can't place no blame. You can't look for help. You can't look for be saved. When you watch this channel, it make you look in the mirror. Period. And once everybody start to take spiritual responsibility, then the world will be a better place. You have a bunch of people in a conscious community, right? Go from one conscious teacher to the other conscious teacher. That's why this is the subconscious community. But look, they go from one conscious teacher to the other conscious teacher, one conscious teacher to the, and then they put them all up against each other to try to, and then got a nerve to step into their own ego to be like, I'm not listening to y'all no more because where's the solutions? Y'all don't got no solutions. Y'all taking us away from everything else, but where's the solution? What kind of dumb-ass spirit will be in a body to ask another spirit in a body, where is the solution? Your monkey ass need to look in the fucking mirror. If you come to the solution, you need to stop listening to these motherfuckers. That's your solution. But motherfucker, you need to come up with a solution. And when everybody come up with their own solution, goddamn it, we ain't gonna have no choice but to come together and end up being the soul group or soul group anyway. That's what people fail to realize. When you are in search, you are lost in some way, shape, or form. I don't care how you want to look at it. When you know, you're not lost. See, when I go through circumstances and situations, I find the purpose to know. Therefore, so I don't be lost in that same frequency vibration to keep manifesting those same energies. When a motherfucker is lost, they find themselves having to search. Go look. Go look for love. Go look for wisdom. Go look for knowledge. Go look for experiences. Go look for understanding. See, when you're going to look, that means you haven't found it yet. So you're lost. Because a lot of times you don't even know where you're going to find whatever you're looking for. Everybody is looking at the same thing, but everybody don't know what they're looking at. And then when you got one spirit trying to explain what you're looking at, the first thing that sounds good, everybody go running towards it, knowing goddamn well everybody goddamn lost. See what I'm saying? And then you have everybody try to put themselves into a circumstance where they get lost into the light in another way, where they call their spirit the representation of something that they see here. So they use a fallacy, a logical fallacy. So they try to say, you are something. Your spirit is this. Your spirit is that. See what I'm saying? And then when I come in and say your spirit is space, your spirit is your space, they say, okay, wait, you doing the same thing. But how? Explain space to me. Yeah, it's nothing, right? So how the fuck did I just do what you just did? But see, I'm on a real spiritual nature because I'm telling you that your spirit is no thing, not nothing, no thing, no shape and form. So everything that y'all look at down here and cling on that appears to be something, I'm telling you that your spirit is not that. Not. You see what I'm saying? So once we start to talk about truth and false and what's right and wrong and things of that nature, you need to know what's true is just when we discover something is being wrong. That's it. That's all. That doesn't necessarily mean whatever that you point to as being true is which we think is what we're trying to call objective. See what I'm saying? So when I say that the spirit is no thing, nothing, no shape and form, it's your space. So for the most part, you know what you want in and out of your space, but you ain't explaining nothing physically. So this is how you separate the spirit from the body. But here's how you get scientists or lost conscious teachers and things of that nature trying to say that doesn't make sense. That's pseudo. The spirit has to be something. Well, you trying to get lost into the light again. You're trying to say the spirit is part of the physical realm. But you're going to see representations every day of your life of the separation between the two. So if I'm explaining it to you in the most clearest way, don't develop no argument trying to say I'm doing the same thing you're doing when I say the spirit is your space. Because when you try to describe space, it's going to be nothing, which is back to what I'm talking about, how I'm describing it. Nothing of this world. So your spirit is nothing of this world. So once you start to say it's the Holy Ghost, or it's the spirit of something, you're getting lost into the light again. Those are higher frequency vibrations and higher versions of being lost. See what I'm saying? And if a spirit taught you that, you need to know that's a demon. So I don't give a fuck what you lost into. You need to understand actuality of existence. Therefore, your ass to start the beginning courses of your spirit traveling into a space where you can start deserving the shit that go more into your favor, and stop thinking that you deserve the shit that's blinding you into the remix of the shapes and forms of actually what you want and need. And these are not things that you actually deserve. Because the moment that you get one of these wants or needs, you're going to start to see that you ain't actually wanting in the first place, because it ain't going to do nothing but manifest into a responsibility. Then you're going to be like, damn, why did I deserve this? Put yourself right back into a place of being lost. So once again, money is not the root of all evil. Your motherfucking needs are. And sit back and analyze who fulfilled the cup where all your motherfucking needs is at. motherfucker. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air. Lay out.